everyone. My name is Gwen. I'm TABI Chair. And, oops, okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Gwen. I'm TABI Chair. I'm just going to try to get Andrea in here. So let's see. Hopefully this will work. It usually takes me a couple of times to get this. So, okay. All right. I'm trying. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, it says Andrea isn't able to join. Okay, let me try again. Okay, let me try. Okay, Andrea, I've sent you another invitation. See if that works. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Hi, Paula. Yes, Andrea is here. He's trying. I'm sure this is my phone, everyone. So we'll see if we can get. This is why I started early, because I thought there might be one of these glitches. Can't see. Can you see the? Let's see. I'm going to send another invitation. Okay. Hi, Jason. We're trying to get Andrea on here.
Maybe
Oh,
now
there
it's
you are.
oh,
Yay!
finally. It was never arriving. I don't know. I was there. Wait a moment, and I tried to put back the mobile on the stand. Now it's a mess. I have my mobile on my head. Can you see me? Can
Yes,
you
yes,
hear me? Everything
yes.
is black here. Look,
Good,
let me move.
excellent.
I go to the desk because here is impossible. It is a little bit too dark in this side of the studio. So I will move to my desk. Let me
Okay.
just. Oh, well, it's not this that. Yes, it's a little bit more light. I hope so.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
it is. Yes, yes. It's more light.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me check just a little bit. I raise the volume because I cannot hear you. And I'm horribly ready.
Yay! Okay, well, we'll just, yes, hi everyone. Welcome to TABI Live with the wonderful Andrea Aste. And I'm very excited. Yes, I'm very excited. I'm Gwen. I'm TABI's chair. I'm so excited to be talking to Andrea about his new magazine, The Discombobulator. I have my beautiful copy here. You can see this wonderful eye looking back at you, Andrea.
Yes, exactly. You are
So
here with Messi Andrea that was trying to upset your invitation, and every time I was pushing it, something crazy was happening. So
no,
I
I
was
know it.
about to enter in panic mode. Then I said,
No,
no, just laugh.
yes, exactly. Just laugh. Just see what happens, and then here you are. I know it's always a bit of a challenge. I don't know why, if it's but every time I've tried to do a live, there's been a little bit of that sort of. What
Yes,
do I press? What do I
yes.
accept? Do I say yes or no? Yes,
We are here. So nice to see you. And thanks you and
yes,
Tabi for this beautiful and amazing opportunity of talking about magic in a different way because it's different. I mean, it's special.
yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I just got my copy a couple of days ago, and I've been reading it, and I'm just so amazed by because I was turning the pages and going through it. It's just like a regular magazine going through, and it's just such a surprise what's on every page. It's just wonderful. And I did open it first. I opened it to the article about Baba Yaga, and so I read that
Oh,
for So yeah.
I
So,
love
but
this article. I mean, I love
yeah.
all the articles in the magazine. But Baba Yaga
Yes.
is a very peculiar character because
Hmm.
there are different legends, different way of interpreting, and the cut that his article has is very funny, very quirky, with a very dark humor. And
Yes.
Natasha Anastasia Kashian made a very amazing job writing the article, so I really love it. In the
Yes.
magazine, there are articles a little bit more humorous, but I mean serious, like Baba Yaga and the figure of Baba Yaga, what does it mean for a personal level, historical level. Then we have article coming from Japan, connecting
Yes.
Taro to Shinto, a Miyazaki film, spirituality, then a little bit more poetic intake on different kind of tarot. I mean, it's a very diverse magazine that touch different topic from shamanic dream to historical tarot, new tarot, and I mean,
Yes, all kinds of things. Well, Andrea Lawton says that she has hers. She says, "I'm so pleased with mine. It's beautiful."
good. I'm pleased too.
So yes, it is. Yes. Well, so first, let me ask you about the title.
Oh
So
yes, of
why
course.
why did you call it the Discombobulator?
Yes, well, as a foreigner, I always love strange, uncommon words. And when I started studying English, to discombobulate means to surprise, to shock, but now we use most of the time in an ironic way. in, it's a word that really, really remained impressed in my mind. So when I was starting to put together the idea, the concept of the magazine, I said, I don't want it. I mean, I know what I wanted because I wanted to have a very high tone magazine for the graphic, for the images. I mean, the visual aspect has to be incredibly important, like an art magazine. But then the concept, the writing has to be from an academic point of view or very high intellectual point of view, but easy to understand for everyone. So I said, you
Yes.
cannot give it a title that is too pompous or too academic, but
Right.
you cannot even give it something that is too low because it
Yes.
is then something that is not straightforward. I wanted a game because it's easy to call, I don't know, a magazine about tarot, a magazine about
Right.
esoterica, the new esoterica. I mean, it's banal. There's
Right.
nothing, it's not poetic. And so I said, I love to be discombobulate. I would like that this magazine will discombobulate people in a
Mhm.
nice way. So opening the horizon, moving the carpet up below the feet and say, oh my God, where are you now? And so I call it a discombobulator.
Yes. Yes. Well, so is that what you want people to do when they open the magazine and start reading? You want them to be a little bit kind of like to sort of blow up their expectations and
A
because
little
it's
bit, yes, a little bit surprised. I wanted
yeah
to create a magazine that, how can I say? Usually, when I create something to reflect above all my needs. What I was needing is a magazine that is incredibly beautiful because there is not something that is like a coffee table magazine in esoterica.
yeah
So I wanted
yeah
something is I usually see you see a review of tarot, beautiful tarot, and then the picture a little then, I mean, you have to take a magnifying lens to see a card. You don't see anything. I want something big, a
yeah
full page just for one card, exploding the graphic,
yeah
exploding the beauty. And so I wanted something like that. And then I said I needed like a Wunderkammer, a cabinet of curiosity about esoterica,
mhm, mhm.
connecting everything I like, everything that is belong to the world of the occultism, of the occult, but connected all together, coming from collecting different voices from different parts of the world, not just from the Western point of view. And this is the reason why I went to South Africa, South America, Japan, Asia, Europe, America. I wanted different voices.
Yes, yes, exactly. And Emily Carding is here, and she says mine mine arrived yesterday. I haven't had a chance to post about it yet. It's stunning.
Oh, good, good. No, I'm happy she's here. Hello, nice. But we can show something. Emily Cardin is here, so we can show something. Let me see if I found it.
Yeah,
I'm here with the magazine. I have to find because even if I did it, I never remember where a single article is.
yeah,
Oh, not
yeah,
for this one, sorry. This is a beautiful and
yeah.
ironic and deep, philosophically deep article written by Emily. And let's ask a philosophical question to an oracle, the transparent oracle, and see what the oracle say to us. Like, when you go to in ancient Greek, it was the oracle of Delphi. You tell him, question the oracle of Delphi for an important question. So Emily did the same thing with the transparent oracle, and the result, I cannot say it because it will be spoiling the the game, is absolutely funny. Is incredibly philosophical, incredibly deep, easy, and I mean, I love it. I simply love it.
Yes, fantastic. There's one more question just up here. Oops, now they're gone. Okay, no, here we go. So A2 Din says, "Hi, I wonder if the magazine will be a periodical."
Oh, yes, it will be a periodical. It will be printed twice a year. I cannot do it more often because it's too much. It's very, very intense because, well, now maybe we cannot see from here, it's different, but I open just two articles to see what's happening. Every single article has its own graphic, its own images, its own font. So it's not like the classical magazine when you have a graphic grid and you put everything inside and the
Mm-hmm.
font is the same dimension, is always the same, the space is the same. Here I change the graphic of every single article to try to capture its soul, to capture its meaning, to try to
Yeah.
give more meaning via the graphic, via the illustration of the pictures that are there. So it's quite important. If we see, let me check this, for example, is an
Yes,
article.
I was
Is
thinking of that. Yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
incredibly talented artist, an Irish artist, Jonathan Hatchett or Hackett. I think he's Hatchett, but I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. But you find here written, so he's an amazing, amazing artist. He's
Beautiful.
interpreting Irish mythology with his style, and this is the reason why he's here, because we want to talk about magic, mythology, psychology, tarot, occultism, science. I mean, the occult is like a bubbling cauldron with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different topics inside. And every issue, we would like to select a few of them, explore, and see what people think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I did when I was looking through it and I came across that particular story, I was just like my mind sort of went like static for a second because in magazines you just don't get this absolutely beautiful like full page artwork. And
Yeah.
it's such good quality, because the paper's really nice, of course, because
Oh,
there's artwork. And so it's like, oh, wow.
this magazine is something like 70
Yeah.
and it's so thick that it's
Yes.
almost half a kilo. I mean, it's big, it's heavy.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is, I mean, if you want something, let me check something now. Something that is, okay, this is photographic journey about a magic seed that is
Yeah.
Turin, that is the vertex of the triangle of white magic, and at the same time, one of the vertex of the black magic triangle. So
Yeah.
this photographer, Kevin Moore, portrays the city, narrating why there is magic embedded in some monument, in a building, a statue, and everything. If you want, now let me check the biggest picture. If you want a picture printed properly, you have to have special paper.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I wanted something like that because imagine something. Think about if let's do an experiment. If we close our eyes and we think about a grimoire, I think so, a book of magic, an ancient book of magic. I mean, what do you think immediately? If you think about grimoire, you think about an old book, old tattered, illustrated with maybe written by hand, but it's beautiful, it's an object of art.
Yeah.
Now, take the same content and print it of the cheapest paper possible, like toilet paper in black
Oh,
and white,
yeah.
horrible, soft cover. All the
Yeah.
magic is lost. Is
Yeah.
completely lost. And this
Yeah.
is when I decided to start creating the Discombobulator, I said the first thing has to be the higher quality possible. Because I wanted to shine, I mean, there is no magic without beauty. It's like
Yes.
when you
Yes.
open a
It's true.
box of tarot box and you find a booklet that is printed in black and white. I know that many times happens, but it's so disappointing. There is no magic there.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It's really true. It's very disappointing. And when it's, yeah, I mean, it's just because when you have this kind of tactile pleasure with the object as well, it's what you're looking at and what you're holding, and you can feel the paper and the weight of it. you know, and it comes in a really special box. I have to tell everybody it comes in this very special box. And so it came, and I thought, I know what that is. So
I
it's great.
want, I wanted it, for me, I mean, is the quality is not just the quality of the writings, because it's easy to contact amazing minds. And I have to be, I'm incredibly proud and incredibly humbled that so many people
Mm-hmm.
they are so important and so famous, like Letizia Balbier, Sasha Graham, Anastasia Kashian, Mr. Sato, director and founder of the Tokyo Tarot Museum, and many,
Mm-hmm.
many others. Emily
Mm-hmm.
Cardiff. Yeah. I mean, so many people wanted to write and were happy and to share the same, let's say, the same values, the philosophy backing or sustaining the magazine. And then there is the biggest challenge. The quality of the writing has to be compared with the quality of the printing, the quality of the paper, the quality of the pictures. There are times
Yeah.
when I took really hundreds of pictures I was just one card, looking for the perfect one, the one that will
Yeah.
say the right things that was described in the article. But this is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a work of passion. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I'm doing just twice a year,
Yeah.
because is it takes a lot of time, and then it takes a lot of time to look for the open the right door to look for the right content for the article. I want to contact for the next issue museums specialize in witchcraft, and maybe they will describe the history
Oh,
of a peculiar object,
yeah.
special books,
Mm-hmm.
ancient rituals, ancient culture. I have an amazing friend of mine that is one of the few people, I think there are just 4 or 5, but literally 4 or 5 people in the world able to translate a lost language. Is the language that was used to write the first Manichaean text. And he promised me to write an article about magic in ancient Babylon. So I imagine how beautiful, because he translated something like that. So it's a very specific thing. So I know that it's very a niche, but if we want to approach the occult, if we want to approach tarot, the more we know, the more we uh, space, the more we open our horizon, the more we will be able to read tarot, to write a nice story, to interpret and to understand better the world we are live in. And this is what I wanted. This is the reason why I'm already building the issue number 1. I'm already
Yeah.
contacting people.
Good.
I already have a list. It's still partial, and I'm still thinking. And it's an adventure. It's absolutely amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we have a couple of comments. Jason says, it's such a high quality product, absolutely splendiferous.
Yes, it's splendiferous. Thank you. This is my favorite words, apart to discombobulate. Every
Yes,
time, I mean, people that wrote me messages, they know that I always close my email and my messages with, have a splendiferous day.
yes,
Splendiferous is my favorite word. I mean,
yes,
life should be
excellent,
splendiferous.
excellent. And Paula says, Paula is the head of the CARTA panel, for those of you who are familiar with the CARTA Awards. So Paula is here. And she says, she's asking, what is the estimated delivery time for shipping to the US?
Okay, I'm using Royal Mail for the UK. So national shipment is Trade 48 and is free. While for all foreigner I mean abroad shipment. Sorry, I'm losing words here and there. I think it's between 7 and 10 days. But usually I do international standard. I wanted to do international track with tracking number, but it's more expensive than a magazine, so I haven't put in the option. Maybe no, maybe I will do it because people sometimes wanted to have the tracking number. I prefer to pay, but for me it's crazy to pay, I don't know, £15, 16 for a shipment for a magazine that costs 15. I mean, it's the same price. It's crazy.
Yes,
Unfortunately, shipment is very, very high, but I wanted to use Royal Mail because it's incredibly reliable. I haven't
yes.
never had problems with that. So, but it will be for the USA, it should be 7, 10 days. Then,
Okay.
of course, it depends now that there are the fees. I mean, the magazine is free from fees because a magazine and books don't pay fees. But The custom now is lower because it's overwhelmed by things. So because they have to check everything, and if you pay the fee, if there are and something like that. So maybe it takes a little bit more, but for now everything arrived quite fast. So finger crossed.
Yes, yes, yes. And we have two comments from Andrea Lawton. She says, I was astounded and amazed with the magazine, the quality of the paper and print, the interesting articles. I have not read them all yet. And she also says, more decks added to my wish list and new tarot authors to investigate.
Well, let's open a parenthesis. When I started to create a magazine, I said, I would like to give a voice to people that have no voices at all, or to find it difficult to be heard. Because social media give an opportunity to everyone, but we are just like a drop of water in an ocean. And then there are all magazines, Body, Mind, Spirit magazine, or Tarot magazine, they advertise decks produced by big publishers. So I said, I would like to have a focus on ancient or historical deck, and this is a parenthesis, and then the modern one, self-produced, Kickstarter produced deck, little publishers, because there are incredibly little, minute publishers that create maybe just 100 item of a single deck, incredibly beautiful, expensive, but like artistic one. And I prefer to talk about this kind of production because beauty and magic is important, are really, really important for me. And many, many times I see decks that are just built around the game. Like, I don't know, the tarot card. Yes, okay, it's funny, but I will never use it and I will never publish it then if they are not special, they are not magic, they are just games for me. I want to talk about something a little bit more philosophical, more deep, more intriguing, more challenging. And I like to be challenged. I don't know you, but when I read a book, I see a film, I don't want to read or see a film to just tell me what I know or just express my same feelings or my thoughts. I want to be challenged by a film, forced to think from a completely different perspective, and then be able to judge my own thinking and say, yes, maybe I was wrong there, or maybe not, but reflect. Otherwise, I feel dead, and I don't want to feel like that. I mean,
Yes, exactly. And Terry says, Terry is Amethyst Astro Tarot. She says, I love this approach, Andrea. That's something I will expect from you. Very nice to give the opportunity to the voices not heard.
Well, I felt, or I still feel, that I am a voice not heard as an artist. Because yes, I did a lot of exhibition in museum. I did the Venice Biennale and everything. But I did a lot of stuff in the art world when I was in Italy. And you know that I'm not fond of my own country, but for one reason only: it's incredibly slow, and everything I did was almost useless. Because if you think about, okay, you're an artist, you do the most important exhibition in the world, that is the Venice Biennale, you think that then you're submerged by commission, request of buying your paintings. Absolutely zero. Because in my country is not supporting artists. If you think about all the decks I created, all the Kickstarter campaign that I created, if I have one or two persons from Italy that I don't know, is a lot. Even this Discombobulator, I think just one friend of mine bought it from Italy. I mean, because they don't support, they don't buy art, they don't support the artists. So
That's shocking.
It's shocking, but
Italy of all places,
I said, I always dream to have a space to be able to talk, to express my idea, my feelings, my doubts in a very completely honest and vulnerable way. So when I created the magazine, I said, this is the place where all the people that deserve a spot will have it. And I will do it, and I'm doing it.
That's
I
really
don't
nice. Yes.
I don't care about having famous writer. In this number, in this issue, there are incredibly famous people, but incredibly unknown people. They deserve to be known, and I'm trying to push them. I mean, I want to tell a story that is not, maybe it's an unknown person in the English-speaking world. Ivana Drobek created in German an amazing blog, an amazing website with a simple idea: create a fictional world where tarot are characters, alive, a person, and you meet every single person and in a story, in a storytelling contest, and you learn how to read tarot. And it was in German. I love it
Yeah,
because I was
that's
immediately
brilliant.
drawn by this project, and I said, you have to write something, of course in English. I mean, please, I want you to talk about Arcania, your world.
Yeah,
And after she wrote it, I said, I love it because we talk a lot about it. And I said, you have to translate it in English. I want to read it because, yes, I can copy paste in a translator. I have an idea of what you said in German, but it's not the same thing. Please
right.
translate now. I mean, we have Tarkania here, but
Yes.
now the best thing is then after a couple of weeks or something, she came back and she said, now I'm starting to translate the world of Tarkanian in English and it's exploding. There are lots of people from
Uh,
all over the world and are reading it. And I'm incredibly happy because I was I don't want to say the pusher because the meaning is completely different. I was the person facilitating this,
yes.
this explosion. And I'm incredibly happy because she deserved it. What she
Yes.
created is absolutely outstanding. And
Hmm.
so I'm incredibly happy to have given a little platform, a little bit of visibility to her project because deserve it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's something that whenever I was reading through anything, I was kind of surprised because I thought I haven't heard about any of this. And you sort of feel like maybe see things coming and going, but I didn't like you. There's one thing, for example, I wanted to mention. You've got a list of books. You've got esoteric books, kind of tarot books that you recommend, and I hadn't heard of them. I've heard of a couple, but the others, and I thought these sound amazing.
I'm tried. I mean, for me, I spend a lot of time in exploring. When I say
Hmm.
exploring, I mean exploring the bookshop, exploring
Hmm.
online places, exploring YouTube. I discovered there are lots of researchers that are now are using TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube to express the incredibly beautiful and deep researches, academic researches, but expressed for everyone. And now I have a list of people that I would like to contact and connect
Hmm.
with because there are incredibly beautiful subjects that we can explore. So my time is, I spend a lot of time in deciding what is the right article for this issue. Try to make something that is not banal, not expected, like the books. A list of books that everyone knows, like, I don't know, if when I mean, I wrote a list. I said, okay, what I would like to read or what I would like to suggest people. If I said Richard Pollock, everyone knows Richard Pollock. We don't need
Yes.
to remind
Yes.
us that she wrote amazing books because I think it's the basic. Is
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I went to other directions and I tried to show it. Then remember,
Yes.
I'm an artist, and many people know me as an artist. My background first was classical studies, so I mean ancient Greek and Latin, so literature. I was translating that; it was amazing. But then I studied philosophy at university. So
Yeah.
the point of view I see esoterica maybe is completely different from what people can expect. My approach is very analytic, very the approach of the curious mind. And Have a Light magazine will be like feed for the curious mind, inspire on
Yes.
different point of view, not just the point of view of the knowledge, but the point of view of the personal life.
Hmm.
I mean, I always talk about dreams. Is the world of esoterica is in a peculiar space
Hmm.
because if you ask if it's real or not, I have to ask you what does it mean to be real. I mean, a table is real, a pencil is real because we can touch it, we can feel it. Is a number real? I mean, it's an abstract object, but this doesn't mean that it's not real. And what is the place, the realm of imagination?
Yes.
Our culture, our literature is imagination, first of all the invention of imagination. Occult is is a land of imagination. But this doesn't mean that it's not real. It has its own way
Hmm.
of being real and be important in our own life. I think what I would like to do is inspire the reader to follow his own dreams, to find himself, to explore with different things.
Yeah.
Maybe I have in mind a peculiar figure that was very pivotal in my life, that was my mother. I think my mother was a very strange person because, if you're born Italian, you usually are Catholic, and usually you are quite rigid in your belief. My mother was quite new age feminist. So she was very dynamic, very nice, and she was exploring and reading because she said, okay, I was raised in a Catholic country, but she studied Buddhism, she's a Protestant, Shintoism. She was reading a lot of different stuff, and then she was dabbling in the occult in a way that is unbelievable. I think she tried everything, from the automatic writing, from the,
Yeah.
you call it pendulum? It's not
Yeah.
pendulum. The
Yeah.
pendulum,
Yeah.
okay, I
Pendulum.
was on
Yeah.
doubt, sorry. The
Yeah.
pendulum, tarot reader, I mean, and I liked it. So I think
Yeah. Amazing.
she taught me to approach reality from different points of view. I always ask myself what is important for me, what is my point of view, and try to navigate this ocean, try to explore it. And
Mhm.
then I leave you to the questions and everything, but I want to show you something. I said explore, because for me, esoterica is a land to explore. This is the table
Yeah.
of content, as you see, is a land. Well, every single landmark is the name of the article, the page, and the author. And then there is a little game, if I found it easier, yeah, put it like that. This is a sentence in Latin, says multa latent. That translated in Queen English mean many things are missing. And of course are missing because we never know everything. We'll never be omniscient. And then this is just the first issue. So many things are missing because we will explore in the second, in the third, in the fourth, and go on. It's a path, it's a journey, like tarot. It's not in
Yeah.
5 minutes you learn all the tarot and all the meaning. It's a long life journey.
Mhm. It's true. Yes, it's true. And I wanted to ask you too about there's a quotation that I've heard you mention several times, and you also mention it in the magazine. Magic is the science of the imagination.
Yes.
So just relating that to what you were saying about the imagination. So how do you see that working?
I see it's a technical thing because if you wanted to talk about a philosophical point of view, imagination is the faculty to be able to vision things that are not belonging to this world and then maybe materialize it. Think about electricity, think about fly. Because now we can fly everywhere we want. But imagine Leonardo. I always imagine this old man with a white beard try to fly with his strange things. And it's like, oh, you didn't crash. Lucky you. I mean, it's fun. But I always have this kind of quirky imagination. But before being able to fly, we dream so much. We
Mm,
imagine. We study the fly of the birds, of the insect, try to reproduce it. And so is occult. Occult for me is the world of occult and esoterica. For me is another way of answering the same question that usually we ask religion to give an answer.
mhm,
So there's life after death. It's the mystery of the
mhm,
unknown, parapsychology,
mhm,
feeling, perception, divination. If we
mhm.
think, I mean, I want to approach esoterica like an expression of our human being. We don't
Mhm.
create poetry because they are cute. We write poetry because we are human beings, because we need it. And in the same way, we need a religion or we need esoterica. We need to believe in something. We need a belief. Uh, and I think esoteric in this way is the science of the imagination because
Mhm.
everything is there and then it becomes, it's like, think about the relationship between alchemy and chemistry. From
Mhm.
alchemy,
Mhm.
we have then chemistry, something that is more scientific, more structured, but this doesn't mean that we have to trash away alchemy because alchemical was very philosophical. Now
Mhm.
we can study alchemy like a metaphor of our own being, or we
Yes.
can learn something completely different. Of course, if you approach alchemy with the goal of recreating the philosophical stone, the object that transmutes everything in gold, well, maybe you are, I mean, a little bit mad. It's a little bit excessive, maybe. But if you take the philosophical stone like a metaphor
Mhm.
for the conjunction between the human and the divine, our
Mhm.
perfect being, then it becomes a philosophical and spiritual path. And then it's
Mhm.
incredibly more interesting to study it, to do it, to
Mhm.
read it. And this is what I want to do with the magazine. Make people see how esoterica can still communicate something. And
Yes.
it is pure storytelling, but it's a storytelling that in communicating his value and his concept, his story, can transform our life, can make us better, can make us grow. And I
Yes,
think this is, I mean, for me, this is important.
absolutely. And it makes it accessible too, because I think, when you have esoteric and occult and you think about words like that and you think, oh, it's sort of hidden still, like with the old societies of the Golden Dawn that kept everything secret. But it's really not anymore. I mean, they're just sort of hidden from plain sight, maybe, but not hidden from us.
I mean, it is thinking that truth has to be hidden because only few people can access. This is the origin of the term esoterica. It will be, I mean, I find it sad. Every one of us has the potential to understand everything. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of practice. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of putting there and step by
Yeah.
step, like every one of us can walk. And I think my concept of that, I was a little bit more elitarian when I was studying philosophy because it's very technical, it's very, I don't want to say sectarian, but it's incredibly technical. And so, of course, I mean, you believe that only few people can understand because they are studying it. It is the technician to study philosophy can understand it. But then you realize that it's not like that because it's
Mm.
just a matter of how you transfer the communication, how you talk with people. And think about Buddhism. Everyone can be a Buddha.
Yeah.
Everyone can be an enlightened. And I think
Yeah.
this is a very
Yes.
important point to remember and to remind ourselves, even now, above all now, think about what is happening in the States, politically and socially. I think what is happening here in England, socially and politically, when we have the extreme right saying absolutely crazy things, is the
Mm.
moment to sit and talk and understand each other and see
Mm-hmm.
that we are just humans and we dreams the same dreams, we fear the same fears, and one day we are under 6 feet of, so I mean, we are dead.
Yes.
So it's useless to see war as a struggle or a fight against each other when, I mean, we are, all of us are doomed to die, so why spend energy in this silly way?
Yes. Yes. I think that's true. That's very true, and not something that maybe a lot of people accept or really want to talk about. And that might be why it's easier to invest a lot of energy, when you don't really see that in the context. So, like, there's no point. There's
Yeah.
no point, and yeah.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful things that happened when I started to create the magazine, it is changed my life in a way
Mm-hmm.
that I was not thinking about it when I created, because I'm contacting and I'm being contacted by a wave of incredibly intriguing mind that every one of them are very challenging and peculiar points of view. And
Mm-hmm.
this is incredibly helpful because I
Mm-hmm.
open my horizon in a way that I dream to, and I like it. And I always say that within the magazine, I would like to create two communities: the communities of the creator and the people that create or use tarot and write articles, and then the other community, the community of the readers, and they overlap.
Mm-hmm.
They are almost the same. But it's a sense of community. I want to create this
Yeah.
community. People that suggest articles, people that ask questions, people that look for answer, and we look for answer together, and not the definitive answer, because it would be wrong and dangerous.
Yes.
Because if you have the truth, then you don't search for anything anymore. I mean, there is no meaning in
Yes.
life anymore if you discover the truth. So it's better to
Yes.
search.
It's better to search, and maybe, the truth isn't something. The whole truth isn't something that one person can discover. Maybe we can all discover aspects of it, but maybe a few people, maybe a few, Indian saints or something have discovered the truth and they understand all of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
In fact, I like the idea that the truth change, but not
yes,
change because it's not truth or because it's relative. I like one of the metaphors that the Buddha used in one of the sutra, and he said, different people at different time need different medicine.
yes,
So they talk about spiritual medicine, and so
yes,
my way of describing of how you can be enlightened, how can you become a Buddha, change. And this is the reason why I've created different sutras. This is the reason why I inspire different sutras. This is the reason why there are many
yes,
ways of Buddhism, and there are different religions and everything, because
mhm,
we evolve, and our way of talking, our way of approaching reality have to evolve with us.
yes, absolutely. Well, So I want to ask you something. We've got just a few minutes left, actually. It's just flown by. But I wanted to ask you about the Castle of Crossed Destinies, because it's something that keeps coming up, and I know that you are making a tarot deck that I absolutely can't wait for. I know you're really busy at the moment, but I absolutely can't wait, because Andrea is creating a tarot of crossed destinies. Is that what it's called, the Tarot of Crossed Destinies? So, and you talk about the book a little bit in this issue of the Discombobulator. So can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
how, what you think about that with the book?
In the Discombobulator, I thought about the origin, the inspiring idea about the deck. That is a book written by Calvino, The Castle of Crossed Destinies, and it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting book, very philosophical and very. I mean, if you use tarot, whoever use tarot, read tarot, love tarot, should read the book. It's very easy. It's a series of short stories. To make a very long story very short, the idea is a group of travelers are lost in a wood, and they found a refugee in a castle. But unfortunately, the castle is quite peculiar, because as soon as you step in, you lose the ability of talking. So everyone wants to ask the other, why you're here? Where is the here? Why we are here? I mean, I was lost. I want to tell my story to you. What is your story? And so they
Yeah.
found all around a table. In the middle of the table, there is a tarot deck. And everyone analyzing the tarot see there at least one card. Looks like him, like a queen, like a page, usually are the court cards. And so everyone started to associate himself with a card and create line or column or lines of stories. And when they intersect, they met at a certain point during the narration. And so, oh, you were you that I meant that helped me to kill the lion in that spot and save the woman from the lion.
Yeah.
And then there is that woman that was saved. I mean, it's incredibly amazing. And this idea of crossing destinies using tarot was the inspiring
Mm.
flame that made me work about the new deck. But then when I decided to give it a shape, I went back to the castle. And so every single tarot is a room inside this castle.
Uh-huh.
So is an abstract. So there are no figures almost. They are just ghosts and shapes, because they are the ghost of time, of the past, of the present. So the only person that has to be in the tarot is you as a reader. In
Yeah.
the castle is empty, because it's like a mirror for your emotion and everything. And it was quite challenging. It is challenging to create. I still have to finish, but few cards are missing. But I love it because it forced me to draw things in a completely different way. Think about um, the tower. Now let me see if I have it. Now I have my iPad here, maybe, because I was thinking how I can show you something, because it's not printed, so
Oh.
it's still digital, so I can give you a preview. It will be just the illustration, because here on the iPad I don't have the final cards. I have just the illustration, but I wanted to show you the illustration of the tower if I found it. Okay, this is the big illustration of the tower. What I wanted to do is change the perspective. This is the tower seen from the inside. You are
Oh.
inside the tower, feeling, experiencing the
Wow.
collapsing. So,
Wow.
and this
That is
game
gorgeous. Yeah.
is a change of perspective
Yes.
that made me feel the
Wow.
tower in a completely different way. I mean, the
Yes.
meaning is almost the same, but the way I feel it,
Mm-hmm.
when I was drawing it, like a Stendhal moment when I
Mm-hmm.
felt the house shaking, and I felt the lights coming, the lightning coming. I mean, the rumble of the castle falling, the tower falling.
Yeah.
It was shocking. It was like
Yeah.
falling with the tower. And I
Yeah.
understood in a completely different way, because, you know, when you see the tower, a classical tower, Rider-Waite-Smith of Marseille, is a distant object. You are safe,
Yes.
experience. Not you don't experience the tower, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
That's true.
But
That's
what
true.
you are inside,
Mm-hmm.
God, if you are touched by that, is emotional. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Well,
always
yes,
say,
it would be quite frightening. I mean, that's a beautiful image that you showed, but it would be quite frightening to be in there with all the, with things cracking and fire and yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I opted every room, so every tarot will be like a mandala, a space for meditation,
Oh,
a space for feeling what is happening inside that room, and
yeah.
everything is happening inside the room, from the shape, the colors. everything you see is built by different symbols that all together create the meaning of the traditional tarot. So it
Yeah.
was quite challenging, but I really love it. I really love it creating it. I think this is the tarot when I went completely outside and beyond the classical representation.
Yeah.
Usually in my tarot, I reinterpret with my style something that was already there. This time I took the meaning and I gave it a complete different shape. Still
Yeah.
recognizable, but
Yes.
different because
Yes.
it's different. So in the magazine, I wanted to talk about Calvino because for me is a source of inspiration. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
I love him, and I always go back to Calvino, to The Invisible Cities. Is another book that I adore, and they are very philosophical, but very you cannot stop asking questions and dreams and think. And I think we need to dream. We need to think. We need to challenge ourselves.
Yes, definitely. And there's an article in here on shamanic dreaming as well, which I thought was really interesting because it does seem to be quite similar to, I'm sure that the procedure and everything is very different. And obviously the history is different, but it reminded me of lucid dreaming and how you can actively get involved in your dreams
Yeah,
and sort of bring them maybe into this world a little bit more, access or go into that world.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I loved that article a lot, even because I'm very fascinated by lucid dreams.
Yeah,
Sometimes I was able to. Actually, I mean, for me, dreams is a very special place because sometimes dreams I have, how can I say, perceptions. Perception of something that, if, for example, a person that I love is sick or is in feeling ill, or is suffering, in my dreams I see the suffering, I see the reason, I know what is happening. So for me
hmm
the dream is always a place where I connect with other realities, other things. It doesn't happen always,
yeah,
but that kind of dreams are very peculiar. When my mother was in hospital dying, she was completely paralyzed and she was not able to talk, so horrible death. uh, I needed to find papers, and I was looking all around the house, and I was not able to look at them. And then one night, I have a usual dream because at the time I saw always my mother in double, divided in two. One was the person that was not able to talk, sick in in the hospital bed, and then standing there was another person that she was when she was not sick, so beautiful, nicely dressed, elegant, smiling, and say, look at me, don't look at her. Will pass away. Focus on me. You are looking for this document. Okay, I hide it, this
yes,
document there. And you have no idea how many things I solve in this way. I mean,
yes,
I know that looks seem crazy,
yes,
but I think this is a
yes.
place where we can
No,
talk about when we're talking about occultism. So, I mean, imagine when you have to help a person that you love and that is dying and you need something and you don't find it, or there are a lot of people going around you doing strange things and you suffering, so you don't understand what the hell is happening around you, and then the
yes,
person that is sick come to your dreams and says, don't trust this person, is doing that, do that so she cannot do that. I cannot harm you. I mean, wow. I mean, I was shocked, and I mean, it's okay. It's all my life that has been like that, so it's not a novelty, but always, I mean, experiencing with my own mother was quite tough.
yes,
So when Bonnie wanted to write this article about
yes,
shamanic dreams, I was incredibly
yeah,
interested because for me, dream is the space of the connection, is the space where I have a lot of visions about my art, I mean, the things that I have to do. Uh, Dreams are incredibly important in my life.
yeah, absolutely. And well, I mean, as you probably know, in Buddhism, one of the interesting things about that is that there are, worlds. They're all called bardos, but you might call bardo, the afterlife. But there is also a bardo of dreams, and
Yeah,
so the dreams is an actual state. And I think a lot of us, maybe in the West, think dreaming is just something that my mind does when I'm asleep, when I'm not paying attention. It's just just processing things that happen through the day, but it's not, it's another place.
exactly. It's another place, and it's a place that we should learn. I mean, we used to. I mean, this is the reason why I wanted to, one of the many reasons why I wanted to create this Discombobulator. Imagine all the traditions that are lost. I speak more about the tradition than I know from my childhood, because as many knows, I spent part of my childhood in Buenos Aires, so Argentina. And there are lots of traditions that are coming from the Indios there. They are coming from the Inca Empire. There was a little bit there, but I mean, a lot of traditions that are, I mean, trickling down there. And it's very interesting. Like, think about Pachamama, the goddess
Yeah.
of, is like Gaia,
Yes.
Gaia, sorry, the world, Gaia, yes, the world, Mother Nature. There are
Yes.
lots of tradition there. There are lots of spirituality. Imagine all the spirituality that we are losing, crushed by religion, over
Mm.
imposing religion, wiped out from history, or crushed by science. I'm a very scientific person. I study logic. I mean, I studied computer science. I love this kind of stuff. But this doesn't mean that I
Yes.
don't have to have a spiritual path or try to find another way. There are different, I mean, for me, science is a way I approach reality. Occult is another way to approach reality.
Mm.
Like the
Mhm.
dreams I said before about my mother, you can say, okay, is your subconscious giving you a scientific explanation, giving you the information that you need, that you are removed? Okay, is a possible explanation. But the other explanation is that maybe there is a way to communicate with the disease of the person that is passing or something.
Mhm.
One can exclude the other, or maybe not. I decide what I prefer to believe depending by the day. I mean, one doesn't exclude the other. Then why
Yeah.
we are every time to kill the poetry of the
Mm.
world, try to explain everything? It's like, imagine if we read, I mean, I love Shakespeare. Imagine if we read Shakespeare instead of reading and savoring every single line. We say, oh, this is a line that works so well because this rhyme with this one, and this word is associating with this one. You destroy the poetry. This is the
Mm.
technicality. You can do it, but not crushing all the other and the emotions that are coming, the images. They come
Yes.
together. One
Yes.
is the technical, and the other one is the emotional way.
Yes. It's true. Yes. Yes. We've got a couple of comments here on your tower card. The first one, let's see, so Anastasia says, there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. They don't tell you how bright the light is going to be inside the tower, though.
I love it. I love it. Anastasia is absolutely fantastic. She's the author of the article about Baba Yaga, and
Oh, I love that one, Anastasia. That was one. I loved that one.
if is that Anastasia, I guess so, because it's a very rare name. So if Anastasia, you're great. No, I love is the person that created the Dinosaur de Marseille. That is an amazing deck. He's quirky.
Yeah.
Imagine a Marseille deck where instead of the characters you have the dinosaur. I mean, chapeau. That lady have a very twisted sense of humor, and I love it. It's crooked,
Yeah.
and I love it for that. It's in a good way. I
Yeah.
love people that have
Yeah.
something to say and say something in a different way or dare to do it in a
Yes.
different way because it's an expression of our personality. And I always say, do what you want, express what you want. Don't care if the other people say, if people says, oh, this is not the norm, it's not, you don't conform. Why do we have to conform?
Good. Yeah. Good. Good. What there's nothing in everybody being the same. That doesn't benefit anybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Paula is asking about your new tarot deck. Will it be published this year?
I wished. The idea was to publish it in November, launch the Kickstarter campaign. But I realized that I need a little bit more time because I have to finish some of the graphic of the book. And then I have to create some of the props connected to the Kickstarter campaign. Because you know that when I go on Kickstarter, I like to bring people on a journey. It's like, let's sail together and explore. So I want to create props to allow people to play with the concept of the castle. So I have a lot
Yes.
of things in my mind and I'm already smiling. I'm happy like a kid on Christmas, but I need more time. So I decided that I will launch the Kickstarter campaign in February, the first day of February. I have the time
Right.
to create everything, to talk, to communicate with people, because between the
Mhm.
magazine and the other things that I was crashing between,
Mhm.
there was no time to think properly. And I want to do everything in the proper way. I hate to rush.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine
Yes.
that when I build the magazine, usually people ask you how many words this article. And I always say, write what you want. I mean, who cares? I
Yeah,
mean, not too
yeah,
long,
until it's
not too
finished.
short.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
because usually when you talk about with a publisher, they say you have one page. And
yes,
one page you have a certain number of words and a certain number of pictures. And always say, well, give me your text. If you have picture, you give me your picture. If not, I produce the picture, illustration, and everything. But if I need one page for just one word or a question mark or just a picture, I will do it. So this is the reason why it's a little difficult to build the Discombobulator, because I collect articles, but I'm not sure that every single article I collect will end up in the next issue. Sometimes maybe one article
mhm,
will slip to the other because I
yeah,
need more page because the important thing is to communicate the beauty and the soul of the article. So if let's think about Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, start the article of Baba Yaga. When I receive it, the first part for me was a poem. And so I asked Anastasia, I said, look, I will do it like that, like a poem, because for
yeah,
me this is absolutely
yeah,
amazing. There is a
yeah,
change in the style, in the tone of the article. Let's give it importance. And so the article ended up with one page more.
yes,
And I think this is important. Beauty prevails on the
yes,
count of the pages. I don't care if if I have to, let's say, to kill an article this number, to put it in the new one, the next one, I will do it. I don't
yes,
want to sacrifice beauty. Absolutely not.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. That's yes, that's so important, isn't it? Because as you say, when you write for a journal, for example, and they'll say, okay, you have 1,000 words or 1,500 words, and it can be, sometimes you just think there's no point. There's no point in this because I can't say what I want to say. It would just be like a summary, it would not be beautiful. So,
I
yeah, so
agree.
there's no
I
point.
agree. Now, imagine that now we are even doing experiments because there are some concepts, some topics that are so deep, so interesting that we are studying if it's possible to divide the article in different issues. If this does make sense, because having just published twice a year, it can be distracting. So we are doing experiments. So one of the contributors try to do something, and then we see if we can divide it, if it's interesting to divide it, if we approach the topic in a completely different way. It's
Hmm.
experimental, and I think this is the beauty of it too.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And Jason says, in my dreams, Bardo is where the garden party is happening. And he says, fascinating talk, logic, imagination, the afterlife, and poetry. All it needs is a bit of sci-fi. So
Oh,
do
I
you have
will
some
have
sci-fi
that.
for us?
I will have that. I would like to put. I was thinking about horror because it's easier.
Hmm.
I'm obsessed by ghost stories, but not just the narration of the story. I mean, there are beautiful stories, by the concept. Imagine that we have ghost stories tracing back to the Babylonian time. And I love it because every culture has at least one ghost story. The Japanese, the Americas, the Romans, the Greeks, everyone has a ghost story. So it's interesting to dig and see what is the elements that are recurring, what are the
Yes,
things, and then you can narrate maybe a peculiar ghost story.
yes.
I would like to do that. With science fiction, maybe it's a little bit more difficult, but if I found a writer, I want to connect science fiction with something with esoterica, absolutely yes, I will do it. Absolutely happy to do it. Why not? I mean,
Yes, 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 exactly. And Terry says, Terry is an astrologer. So she says, 1st of February, I just looked at the moon. It is in Leo. Could be a great day to fill our souls with creativity and authenticity. It will be just before the full moon, depending on the time.
good, good.
Perfect.
Oh, great, great. I'm incredibly happy. Wow. No, no, it's important. I think it's important to have more voices possible, and even for
Yes.
the cover. And now I created the cover, but next issue, if I can, if I manage to do what I want, I would like to have a contest and have someone else create. It can be a picture, it can be a collage, it can be the photo of a statue, a sculpture, a painting. But it would be nice to have another artist to interpret the concept and giving space to someone else to create the cover. So
Wow. What a lovely idea.
is a big challenge. I want to see
Yeah,
if it happens, but I hope it happens because I know a lot of artists that are amazing. So I would say if you want to participate, this is the idea, this is the concept. Let's have
yeah,
fun together because I think that I love collaborating with people. Collaborative projects are amazing because if you approach it in a nice way and you collaborate with people that are open-minded, the goal is to create something that
yes,
transcend me and you and the others and
yes.
is like uh, an explosion of creativity. When there are egos involved and the more
Mm,
important is my ideas and crush everyone else,
yeah.
no, I don't like that kind of
No, no,
collaboration.
it's a different thing. Yeah,
The
yeah.
magazine is a good way of collaborating with people. So I love it. And by the way, if you are in London, the 21st of November, there will be the official launch of the Discombobulator at the College of Psychic Studies with Letizia Barbier doing the hostess. And we are 9 people, 9 contributors of the Discombobulator coming from all over the world to
Wow.
talk about the magazine. I think it will be the most crazy, I don't want to say important, but the most original gathering of esoteric mind of the
Yeah.
year. I mean, really, there are people coming from Japan, from Australia. There will
Wow.
be
Yeah.
Sasha Graham. There were people coming from Europe. Is just to talk. Then the attendees, I already know there are incredibly mind even in the attendees. So, wow, it would be
Very
amazing.
exciting. Yeah,
So
and it's
please
so
come. You find all the information on the website of the College of Psychic Studies.
yes, and that's where people can get their own copy of the Discombobulator, right? Is they go to the website, which is the Discombobulator.
Yes,
Yes.
on the www.thediscombobulator.co.uk. And from there, you can buy the magazine in it comes in two versions, the printed one and the digital one. So
Yeah.
the printed one is a little bit more expensive because you have the shipment too, and the digital is a little bit more, let's say, affordable, is less expensive. I mean, it's not expensive as a magazine. For the quality and everything, it is very affordable. But the digital one, I wanted to create something special because it's not a PDF that you download. No, it's a flipping book, so you can open it from your
Oh,
mobile, your tablet, your computer, but you
wow.
have the page flipping with the sound of the page. There is the possibility to save the page where
Wow.
you are. So, I mean, the bookmark, and it's great. I study a lot to have the possibility to create something beautiful, and it's amazing. If you
Yeah.
have bought the Gastelum Roman from the Grave, it comes with the usual standard edition, comes with the printed booklet and the digital. So then there is the digital
Gosh.
version when there is
Yeah.
just, so if you have it and you have seen how the booklet is, it will be the same quality. Amazing
Yeah.
colors, amazing things, and flipping books. So I think beauty is,
That's so
as I
cool.
said, is important.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And Anastasia says, so let's see, she's talking about February the 1st. She says it's the eve of Candelaria too, Candlemas, which seems an auspicious date for an issue one, February 1st, for a
Great.
number of reasons. Yes.
Good.
So you picked a good day. That's great.
I don't know. It's destiny. It's crazy.
Yes,
It's
that's great.
madness.
And I did want to mention too, because there is an article in here about TABI, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
wonderful. I did want to mention, so thank you for that. And it's written by Janine Worthington, who's the chair of TABI before me. So it's a wonderful article about everything that TABI does and some pictures of conferences. So that's wonderful.
I
I really
think
enjoyed
Tabi,
it.
I mean, Tabi is family for me. I really enjoy Tabi. I really enjoy the meetings, the going there, because there is a part of the talking, the knowledge, the exchanging of ideas that is incredibly important. Then there is the the friendship. When you
Yes,
can talk, you can have a meal with friends and explore a concept and life in a different way. Because, in a conference, usually you have the possibility to have a question, but then there is something more intriguing. It's nice to retreat in a place and talk and
yes,
explore and debate. And this is the beauty of Tabi, because usually there is little, so less people is more intimate, and
yes,
you can
yes,
engage very well with everyone. And I love it. So yes, I asked Janine if we wanted to write an article
yes.
talking, explaining what is Tabi to people that don't know what it is. So yeah.
Yes, Yes, and it is, as Janine says, it's a great place for people who are interested in esoterica. So there's a few of us there. I'm one of them. so
No, I
so
agree. I
yay.
agree. No, I agree. I
Uh,
mean,
yeah,
no,
it's great.
it's beautiful. What was clear is that don't write an article to make advertising. Just the advertising will
Yes,
come because people will
yes,
understand the beauty of what you're doing.
yes,
Just explain the
exactly.
history, the beauty, and everything. And we don't want that. For now, it's an advertising-free magazine. Maybe next issue I will have a little bit of advertising because it helps the cost to
Yeah,
cover the cost. But
yeah,
I'm already talking about people that maybe publisher, maybe they want to have advertising and all, let's see. But I put very strict rules. I mean, I don't want them to give me the advertisement already done. I prefer to have a collection of pictures, the text, and I will edit everything in a graphic, nice way.
yeah,
I want
yeah.
that everything will be uh, peculiar. Now, the only page of advertising that I have that is it's just advertising for the magazine or something like that.
Yes,
It's this page.
yes.
And for me, this was fun because it's like recreating the advertising of you find in a magazine of the 50s or the 60s, you know, and when the comic books, when you're the last page, you have all these crazy objects and you have the glasses, the X-ray glasses. I don't know. I mean, I remember it was an edition of Superman or something like that, and they were selling the X-ray glasses. And as a kid, of course, they are not X-ray,
Absolutely.
but I
Yes.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I received that books, the comic books, when already they were old, because I think it was 50 and 60. So, I mean, I'm not that old. So I received it when they were already old and I already loved them. I was incredibly
Yeah.
fascinated by the advertising because they are completely crazy. And I say, oh my
Yes.
God, how can you buy something like that?
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
will do it.
So the next issue is we can expect in the next issue some 3D glasses that we pull out and we can
I
use.
will do
Yes.
that. Oh, imagine how beautiful it would be to have the glasses to see ghosts. I don't know if it will be beautiful or scary. I don't know if I want to have glasses that you can see ghosts around the house. Maybe it will be scary, you know. It's but
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
true.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
always have a little bit of reverence and fear for this kind of stuff.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I'm not that bold. I mean, like a seance. I don't know if you
Yes.
ever done it. I think I
No.
have once, but it's incredibly scary. It's
Yes,
scary.
I don't think I would do that, to be honest. I don't think I would. I would. I get, yeah, I'm scared of that sort of thing as well. Well, it's more like you say, it's sort of a respect. It's like I just don't want to mess around with that.
Exactly. If you don't know what's happening, you don't mean no, 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 no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to write your
No,
own
it's
ghost
true.
story.
I know. What am I doing? Yes.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, Andrea, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you as always. I've really enjoyed it, and I've really loved hearing about the magazine. I know everybody else did too, and forthcoming work. And so, just as a last thing, could you tell us where people can find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Oh, they will find me in social media, the email, you find the email inside the Discombobulator and on Facebook. I mean, contact me if, I mean, sustain the magazine, buy it, share the existence of it with your friends. And then if you have ideas, if you're bold enough, well, write me. If you have an idea for something to talk about in the magazine, or if you know someone that it would be perfect for the magazine, just put me in contact with it. This is a collective effort to create a library of crazy, crazy, crazy magical things.
Wonderful things. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to go. I've got one article left, so I'm going to go read this now. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Andrea.
everyone, to be here and have a splendid first night.
Yes. Good night.
Good night. Bye.